Now on Coast TV News.
Improving weather for the holiday weekend. A few lingering showers today, then drying out heading into the Memorial weekend. I'll track the conditions on Futurecast coming up next.
Unofficial start to summer, what you need to know about Rehoboth's new beach patrol as the season kicks off. From grass to pavement, Fenwick Island eyes a new sidewalk plan. Tragedy in D.C., loved ones mourn couple killed outside museum as new details emerge on federal charges.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. Thank you for joining us for our 6 o'clock hour. It is Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Hard to believe Memorial Day weekend is here because the temperatures haven't felt like it's late May. But to talk a little bit more about those temperatures for this weekend, we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Elisa. And warmer temperatures this weekend. That was not the case this past week. It was cooler, it was wet as all we know, but it's starting to improve as we get into the holiday weekend. But it's a cool start. Look at these temperatures, low 50s, even 50 in Willards and Harrington, 52 in Millsboro, 51 in Milton. So have a heavier jacket out the door this morning, and 53 in Bethany Beach. Wind's not too bad. They're out of the west. They're going to start to pick up as we go through the day and dry us out even more as we're looking at some clouds, but we're seeing some breaks in the clouds too. And watch for wet roads. I think we'll see those early on. Otherwise, low pressure that was off the coast yesterday, moving to the north and east. Still seeing some clouds to our west, even showers into Pennsylvania with an upper level low. And with the heating of the day, we could see a shower later on. Not a big deal. But this morning it's cool with 50s and eventually 60s mid-morning. I think by the noon hour, more in the way of sunshine. Temperature still on the cool side into the 60s. And we could see a spotty shower here and there. And mid-afternoon, maybe some low 70s inland areas. I think 60s at the beaches. And any kind of isolated shower will kind of fade away for this evening. And not a bad ferry ride up to Cape May and back if you're doing a round trip, looking at westerly breezes, maybe a few white caps and a mix of sun and clouds, and temperatures on the cool side only into the upper 60s as we go into this afternoon.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. And we are now going to be taking a live look at the Bay Bridge this morning. This roadway will be busy this weekend, especially today, as people travel to their Memorial Day destinations. As we can see, there are quite a few cars already this morning on that roadway. And here on the coast, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to summer. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Rehoboth Beach. Emma, Rehoboth is a popular vacation spot all summer long, and now there's a new addition to the nation's summer capital that aims to increase safety. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning, Elisa, and happy Memorial Day weekend to all of our viewers. To kick off the holiday weekend, I'm here to show you guys the newly completed Rehoboth Beach Lifeguard Station. This has been a project that's been in the works since 2023, and those ribbons were officially cut yesterday. The full building is ADA accessible and has 96 lockers for staff. The project's final cost rung in at about $5.7 million, around $750,000 over budget. For a patrol that has served the nation's summer capital for more than a century, Captain Jeff Giles says this is a matter of safety and a place to call home.
You're on the beach for 8 hours. You get to spend about a half an hour here, but it's home, and it's nice to have a home. And public safety, it's going to help public safety because I'm going to get the best guards that we can get and provide that. So.
Lifeguards here at Rehoboth Beach will officially be on duty here starting tomorrow and are on duty in season 9 to 5 weekdays and 9:30 to 5:30 weekends and holidays. Back to you, Elisa.
Thank you, Emma. And prepare for service changes on Memorial Day. The agency says in Sussex County, beach bus services and Route 305 will be running. Paratransit will also provide ADA-only service. All other DART services will not be operating. And as Memorial Day weekend approaches, Maryland State Police are urging drivers to stay safe and drive responsibly. Troops across all 23 barracks will conduct statewide saturation patrols to target impaired, distracted, and aggressive driving. Enforcement will be active on major routes like US 50, 13, and 301, with a focus on the Eastern Shore. And Delaware Senator Chris Coons is taking aim at global energy competition with 3 new bipartisan bills introduced this week. The proposed bills are focused on strengthening U.S. nuclear energy policy. The legislation targets streamlining, licensing, boosting international nuclear cooperation, and increasing financing for U.S. nuclear exports. Senator Coons says the bills will help lower energy costs and support clean energy. In some parts of Fenwick Island, you will find sidewalks along the road. The large parts have nothing at all, and some of the existing walkways lead right into the grass. Now the town is working with Delta on a new sidewalk project. The goal of this project is to add sidewalks that would stretch from James Street all the way to Lighthouse Road. Updates on this project are set to be discussed at today's town council meeting. Fenwick Island Mayor Natalie Magdeburger says this could make a big difference for the town.
Summertime, like all of our coastal communities, we balloon, and walking, riding bikes, pedestrian type of traffic is very, very important, and we want to make sure everybody's as safe as possible.
DelDOT says it plans to use around $3 million to finish what the town has already started. And also happening today in Fenwick Island, the town will hold its annual Memorial Day ceremony to honor those who served our nation. Officials say the evening will feature a special address from Captain Edmund Pinto, a retired member of the U.S. Navy, a moment of remembrance, musical tributes by local choirs and students, and a performance of taps by a 6th grade trumpet player. That event will take place tonight at 5:30 in the town park. And today is National Poppy Day, a time to honor fallen service members and support veterans. In recognition, American Legion Auxiliary Unit 24 from Dagsboro will hold a poppy awareness event at the Snowball Stand in Berlin. This will be from 2:45 to 7, and locals can stop by to receive a poppy. All portions of the sales during this event will help and be donated to veterans. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this morning. Family, friends, and colleagues are mourning the loss of the young couple killed outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum. And this as more details emerge about the man charged in their murder. NBC's Alice Barr shows us more about the federal charges he will face.
In the aftermath of the deadly shooting of 2 Israeli embassy staff members outside the Capitol Jewish Museum, shock is giving way to grief for the young couple killed, 30-year-old Yaron Lashinsky and 26-year-old Sarah Milgram.
She was as close to perfect as any human could be.
Sarah's father recalling her love of learning and her desire for peace, including a recent summer job.
The purpose of the organization was to bring young Palestinians and young Israelis together.
A bright future cut short by a bullet. Investigators say fired by this man, 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez.
Both an act of terror and directed violence against the Jewish community. And it has the full and unwavering attention of the FBI.
Witnesses say Rodriguez walked into the museum after the shooting, mistaken for an innocent bystander for several minutes until police arrived.
He walked right up to them. He turned himself in and said, I did this for Gaza. And then he started his chants of free Palestine.
Rodriguez now faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder and murder of foreign officials. FBI agents searched his Chicago apartment and are investigating what could be his online writings. Top officials from Capitol Hill to President Trump to Israel's prime minister condemning the attack, as those closest to the couple who were on the verge of getting engaged are left grappling with an enormous loss.
We have great memories, but the future is gone.
Hoping now for justice and peace.
We're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today. We still have a lot more news to get to. Coming up, blue crab population problem. We'll tell you why a new report could be raising concerns for the animal. And homeless community comeback, how community support is helping Code Purple rebuild Terrace Village. And regulators approve relaunch. SpaceX approved for another test flight after past dangerous failures. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Exactly 6:11 on this Friday morning. Getaway day for a lot of folks. Had some sun earlier on the FH4 camera in Cambridge. Now it looks like the clouds have moved back in. 59, but not looking at any rain, but it is cool out there. 50 in Harrington, 50 in Willards too, 53 in Delmarva with 53 Bethany Beach and Lewis at 55. So make sure you have that heavier sweatshirt or jacket out the door. As we're looking at westerly winds, they will dry us out today as we're looking at partly cloudy skies, and all the steady rain has moved moved away. We're seeing showers to our north and west, and we could see a shower as we go into this afternoon. But improving conditions, you can take the golf clubs out of the garage, put them in the trunk, and go for a good game of golf. We're looking at good conditions today. Partly cloudy, maybe a stray shower, and a high around 69. Some inland spots, I think, getting into the low 70s.
Thank you, Bob. Bulk trash pickup in Fenwick Island is happening next week. Mark your calendars for Tuesday, May 27th through Thursday, May 29th. The town says to make sure items are collected, place everything curbside by 10 p.m. on Wednesday, May 28th. Tires, appliances, shingles, concrete, propane tanks, helium tanks, paint and yard waste like branches and trees will not be collected. And federal regulators have given SpaceX the green light for another test flight of Starship. Starship is the most powerful launch vehicle ever constructed. It has already experienced 2 explosive mishaps this year, with debris falling near islands in the Caribbean Sea and Atlantic Ocean. Thursday, the Federal Aviation Administration said SpaceX can move forward with its next launch attempt. Regulators determined SpaceX has met all of its rigorous safety, environmental, and other licensing requirements. And Big Lots is making an even bigger comeback after recently opening dozens of stores this month. The discount retail chain announced more than 70 additional stores will open on June 5th. They will be located in Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. Big Lots filed for bankruptcy last year and closed dozens of stores. Lipton is spilling the tea on its new look. The packaging still features Lipton's signature red badge and yellow background, but the Lipton logo is now in all caps. The company's founding year has also been added, and the tea bags also got a makeover. They now feature a letter L on one side and the type of tea on the other. This is Lipton's most significant brand transformation in over a decade.
Nice to see the blue skies returning. That's what we're seeing in Laurel right now. 55 and just a few clouds. We'll be in and out of those clouds as we go through the day and into the holiday weekend. I think we're looking at improving conditions, and we'll be stepping up those temperatures as well with a warm up on the way. I'll have your complete holiday forecast coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:16, and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. And Bob, we see that sun coming up. That is a good sign. It's still a little bit cooler. You want to wear a sweatshirt or a light jacket today, but no rain, which is a great sign.
Yeah, I mean, if we do see the rain today, it's just going to be isolated, Elisa. But I think we're looking at a drying and warming trend as we go into the weekend. So as we head into your Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, sun and clouds. I think it's going to be on the breezy side, and then even a little warmer as we go into Sunday, thinking 72, partly cloudy and pleasant conditions. Of course, this weekend is the unofficial start to summer. And then, of course, we're remembering those that gave their lives for the country on Memorial Day. 74, sun and clouds, and a possible shower. But I'm thinking that chance keeps going lower. So for ceremonies and cookouts, things like that, I think we're in good shape on Monday. An isolated shower today, but we're drying out Saturday and Sunday. I think mainly dry Monday, and then a better chance of showers again by Wednesday into Thursday, and maybe the end of the week looking unsettled. Lower 50s. Now it's cold, even 49 now in Willard. It's 53 in Georgetown, 53 in Millsboro. So we have to bundle up a little bit. 55 in Ocean City and Lewis. As the winds are starting to come in out of the west, they're starting to pick up now a little bit, and they'll be drying us out, those westerly winds, as we go through the day. So we're seeing some clouds, also some breaks in those clouds, but the steady rain is pretty much gone now as we're seeing one storm lifting off towards Cape Cod, and there's another upper level low across the Great Lakes, and that's spinning in some disturbances. There's one across western PA, and by this afternoon we could see an isolated shower. Otherwise, it's high pressure across the Midwest. If you're traveling to Chicago today, St. Louis, you're in good shape. Maybe a few showers across the Dakotas. Here's Futurecast this morning. We're in the 50s. It's a chilly start. Those westerly breezes picking up, so those 60s feeling a little cooler with the wind, and maybe a stray shower into the afternoon. Some inland locations in the low 70s, and a spotty shower still possible through about 6 o'clock, and then we'll start to finally dry it out for good through the overnight. And it's chilly into your Saturday morning with 40s and 50s, and with a northwesterly wind. Sun and clouds on your Saturday with 60s and 70s, and then another chilly start into Sunday morning with 40s and 50s. And I think we're looking at a good looking day, maybe a couple degrees warmer than Saturday on your Sunday, as the winds are picking up, gusting up to about 25 miles per hour today, and still a little breeze tonight and then breezy again on Saturday, making you feel just a little cooler. So have that windbreaker handy. And then later Sunday and Monday, Memorial Day, we're seeing a system that continues to dive to the south, and the models continue to dry us out. So that's certainly good news for Memorial Day. And then still on the cool side to end May and begin June. I think temperatures still running a little bit below average. We should be in the mid-70s this time of year. We're not going to see that for a few days. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 69 today, 70 Saturday. Some chilly overnight lows in the 50s, even upper 40s by Sunday morning, 72 on Sunday. Memorial Day, I'm going dry now, 74, and then clouding up Tuesday with a better chance of rain, and still on the cool side Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Bob. Caros Village, the structured homeless village off of Coastal Highway, is planned to return later this year. Thursday, locals attended an informational meeting for the community to ask questions. People were invited to the Lewis Library to learn about Terrace's case management and support programs.
You know, I'm always interested in having the community have a better understanding of not only the problem of our unsheltered neighbors, but some of the programs that are in place to help our guests through that journey.
And earlier this month, the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission approved recommendations that will now be sent to the Sussex County Council. Code Purple plans to rebuild Terrace after the County Council's decision on June 17th. Up next, blue crab population problem. We'll tell you the shocking results of a new report and how officials hope for more information in the coming months. Don't go anywhere. Both Maryland and Virginia have released the results of the 2025 Chesapeake Bay Blue Crab Winter Dredge Survey. The data shows that crab numbers have dropped in all categories. The Department of Natural Resources says the survey's total population estimates are the second lowest in the dredge program's history, which has been done since 1990. The low population numbers come as a big disappointment to seafood business owners on the mid-shore. Owner Joe Spurry with Bay 100 Seafood says he's noticed bushels have been a little lighter, so the survey does not come as a surprise. However, he's worried about stricter regulations.
Oh, I mean, certainly it's disappointing to see a reduction in those populations for sure, and we've seen it before. But you know, we're certainly hopeful that it'll rebound, and it always has.
Maryland's Department of Natural Resources says any potential changes to crab regulations won't be released until spring 2026 after more research is done. And Bob, it's the unofficial start to summer, but it's going to be cooler at the beaches. You're going to want to bring a sweatshirt, maybe buy a sweatshirt. I love to do that when I go on vacation. It's a good excuse to buy some clothes. Also to go shopping if it's a little bit cooler at the beach stores. There's still a lot to do.
A little retail therapy, support the local economy, never hurt. Then after a little shopping, maybe you're a little hungry, and then visit some of the restaurants. We've got fine ones along the coast here in Maryland and Delaware. Chincoteague and Assateague, we're looking at cool conditions throughout the day. 50s to start, then mid to upper 60s in Chincoteague, maybe a stray shower. The same conditions pretty much in Assateague. UV index is high, so make sure you have that higher SPF. Waves around 2 to 4 feet. Upper 60s in Fenwick Island, mid 60s in Ocean City with a stray shower later on. Next 3 days in Cambridge, it's on the cool side, but we're drying out. We're dry right through Sunday, and I think Memorial Day too. Similar conditions for Crisfield as well, with 60s and low 70s. Temperatures still running below average. That'll be the case into early next week. Much more on your holiday forecast coming up in the next half hour.
All right, thank you, Bob. And as we mentioned, it's a big weekend for beach trips and barbecues. It's the unofficial start to summer. But don't forget, Memorial Day is also a time to remember those who gave their lives serving our country. Here's Christina DeRobertis with your cool things to do.
Pay tribute to those who made the ultimate sacrifice at a few locations this Memorial Day weekend. In Millsboro, a ceremony will be held at the Veterans Cemetery Sunday at 10 a.m. Then on Sunday at 1 p.m., a solemn salute at the Firefighter Memorial on the Ocean City Boardwalk with a wreath laying and flyover. And at 1:30, a Memorial Day ceremony on the Georgetown Circle. It will be led by members of the National Guard. Also happening this weekend, the 10th annual Poseidon Festival returns to Bethany Beach with pirates and mermaids all weekend long, and Zelke's will host its first ever beach ball drop at noon Saturday to ring in the unofficial start to summer. For more details, just visit CoastTV.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
Now on Coast TV News.
Improving weather for the holiday weekend. A few lingering showers today, then drying out heading into the Memorial Day weekend. I'll track the conditions on Futurecast coming up next.
Unofficial start to summer, what you need to know about Rehoboth's new beach patrol as the season kicks off. From grass to pavement, Fenwick Island eyes a new sidewalk plan. Tragedy in D.C., loved ones mourn couple killed outside museum as new details emerge on federal charges.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. It is 6:28 on this Friday morning. And we've been talking a lot about Memorial Day weekend, going to the beach, but I know the main thing on First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey's mind this morning is his New York Knicks. Bob, tonight, I am rooting for the Knicks. I am wishing you the best of luck tonight. I plan to watch.
Oh, thank you so much, Elisa. Yeah, I'm hoping the Knicks can tie up that series for sure, and rooting for the Mets as well. So go blue and orange. Out the door this morning, we're looking at temperatures cold or chilly, 49 in Willards, 53 in Millsboro, 54 in Delmar, Bethany Beach, 54 for you. So we are looking at cool conditions with the westerly breeze that's picking up. That'll be drying us out through the day, and we're starting to see more in the way of blue skies and still some clouds, but nothing in the way of steady rain. We're seeing one storm moving away to the northeast and maybe a little bit more in the way of shower activity into the afternoon. As we're looking at Futurecast, the breezes picking up and temperatures only slowly rising into the mid-60s by noon. That's when we could see a few stray showers. That's a possibility into the afternoon. Lower 70s some places inland, 60s at the beaches, and still breezy this evening. Any showers will tend to just kind of dwindle away. Last day of school for the kiddos, 55 drying out. Make sure they have a heavier sweatshirt, and then heading home breezy and drier and 67 degrees.
All right, thank you, Bob. And we are now taking a live look at the Bay Bridge. We're seeing a lot of cars on that roadway this morning, and this roadway is expected to be very busy this weekend as people travel to their Memorial Day celebrations. And here on the coast, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start of summer. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Rehoboth Beach. Emma, Rehoboth is a popular vacation spot all summer long, and now there's a new addition to the nation's summer capital that aims to increase safety. Good morning, Emma. And it looks like right now we have actually lost Emma's signal. We'll see if we can get it back. But as we mentioned here on the coast, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to summer. Rehoboth is a popular vacation spot all summer long. And now there's a new addition to the nation's summer capital. The newly completed Rehoboth Beach Lifeguard Station is a project that has been in the works since December 2023. And those ribbons were officially cut yesterday. That building is fully ADA acceptable and has 96 lockers for staff. The project's final coast running is about $5.7 million, around $750,000 over budget. For a patrol that has served the nation's summer capital for more than a century, Captain Jeff Giles says it's a matter of safety and a place to call home. All right, and we are now going to be moving on, and you should prepare for DART services to change on Memorial Day. The agency says in Sussex County, beach bus services and Route 305 will be running. Paratransit will also provide ADA-only service. All other DART service will not be operating. And as Memorial Day weekend approaches, Maryland State Police are urging drivers to stay safe and drive responsibly. Troopers across all 23 barracks will conduct statewide saturation patrols to target impaired, distracted, and aggressive driving. Enforcement will be active on major routes like US 50, 13, and 301 with a focus on the Eastern Shore. And in some parts of Fenwick Island, you will find sidewalks along the roadway, but large parts have nothing at all, and some of existing walkways lead right into the grass. Now the town is working with Delta on a new sidewalk project. The goal of this project is to add sidewalks that would stretch from James Street all the way to Lighthouse Road. Updates on these projects are set to be discussed at today's town council meeting. Delta says it also plans to use around $3 million to finish what the town has already started. And Delaware Senator Chris Coons is taking aim at global energy competition with 3 new bipartisan bills introduced this week. The proposed bills are focused on strengthening U.S. nuclear energy policy. The legislation targets streamlining licensing, boosting international nuclear cooperation, and increasing financing for U.S. nuclear exports. Senator Coons says the bills will also help lower energy costs and support clean energy. New this morning, increasing escalation in the battle between the Trump administration and Harvard University. Now the federal government is telling Harvard it has to kick out thousands of students. Reed Binion shows us what led to that announcement and how the school is now reacting.
This is something that cannot be done in the United States.
Harvard University professor Ryan Enos reacting to the Trump administration's move to revoke Harvard's ability to enroll international students.
I was shocked, like were so many of my colleagues.
The Department of Homeland Security telling the elite institution it, quote, can no longer enroll foreign students, and existing foreign students must transfer or lose their legal status. The university swiftly condemned the move as unlawful, referring to it as retaliatory action. In ordering the termination of Harvard's Student and Exchange Visitor Program certification, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem cited the university's refusal to turn over the conduct records of foreign students requested by the DHS last month. On social media, Noem also accused Harvard of, quote, fostering violence, anti-Semitism, and coordinating with the Chinese Communist Party on its campus.
I don't think it's the context that any reasonable person thinks is going on at Harvard. It's the Trump administration trying to come up with reasons to attack an institution it doesn't like politically.
The development could impact more than a quarter of Harvard's student body. Records show more than 6,700 international students made up roughly 27% of its enrollment in the 2024-2025 academic year. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Family, friends, and colleagues are mourning the loss of the young couple killed outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum. This as more details emerge about the man charged in their murder, 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez. Witnesses say Rodriguez walked into the museum after the shooting, and he was mistaken for an innocent bystander for several minutes until police arrived.
He walked right up to them. He turned himself in and said, I did this for Gaza. And then he started his chants of Free Palestine.
Rodriguez now faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder and murder of foreign officials. And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, class of 2025. We'll show you the special honor for Washington Commanders head coach, who is a Salisbury University alum. And Salisbury softball makes their play for a spot in the College World Series. We have a preview of the Gulls Super Regional matchup. And hurricane season hurries. We'll tell you how many storms NOAA is predicting this year. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
6:38 on this Friday morning. A lot of folks heading out of town for Memorial Day weekend, and we're seeing blue skies. Good to see that. 56 in Laurel right now, 49 in Willards, 52 in Long Neck, 55 in Bethany Beach, Redden 52. So make sure you grab that heavier sweatshirt out the door as a westerly breeze is picking up. So we're seeing the clouds, but we're also seeing increasing blue sky, a mix of sun and clouds, still some clouds back to our west, even showers across western PA. It's possible we could still see an isolated shower into this afternoon. What size coffee? Well, I think everybody knows I usually go extra large. A little bit of cream, right, Elisa? 69 degrees, drying out, breezy and cool today, and looking good heading into the holiday weekend. And congratulations to Thomas M.G. from Berlin on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling and Coast TV.
We need an extra large coffee every day, Bob. And the Atlantic hurricane season starts on June 1st, and experts think it will be busy. NOAA says there will be between 13 and 19 named storms, with about 10 becoming hurricanes. The expectation of an above-average season comes as the federal agencies tasked with helping communities deal with storms struggle with preparedness. NOAA and FEMA have both experienced cuts in staffing. And a Rehoboth Beach woman is facing felony charges after allegedly threatening contractors and an HOA member during a property dispute. Troopers say 62-year-old Jennifer August confronted a group clearing ivy on Monday morning. DSP says she threatened a contractor with scissors, threw debris, and sprayed an HOA representative with an unknown liquid. August was arrested at her home without incident, and she was charged with multiple felonies, including assault and possession of a deadly weapon. August was released on a $28,000 unsecured bond.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Yes, Decatur softball is in the title game for the first time ever, and we'll be there to follow the Seahawks every step of the way. The Hawks punched their ticket with a thrilling walk-off win over Damascus in the semis. Today, you can send the Seahawks off at SDHS at 12:30. before the girls hit the road to Maryland for a 2A final date with Huntingtown. Both teams are 22-3 on the season. We'll have coverage from both the send-off and College Park. Make sure to follow along with our social at Delmarva Sports. Salisbury softball is making a push to return to the finals for the second time in 3 years. The Gulls play 2 at Rowan today in the Super Regional. Winner of this best-of-3 series heads to Bloomington, Illinois for the College World Series. The Gulls beat Rowan twice last year and also took down the Profs in the CWS 2 years ago. Salisbury is trying to get back to the College World Series for the third time in 4 years. Seagull baseball has had similar postseason success. Salisbury hosts Messiah in the Super Regional at Donnie Williams. Game 1 between the Falcons and the Gulls is this afternoon at noon. Game 2 is tomorrow at 11, with a Game 3 to follow if necessary. We have 3 more Bayside teams playing in the state finals tomorrow as well, so make sure you follow along with all of our coverage at Delmarva Sports. That over sports, and best of luck to all of our teams competing for some hardware.
And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night, Sussex Central takes on Appoquinimink in baseball at 8 p.m. and then catch the final score at 10:30. And today's movie news ranges from casting to memorabilia to the newest theme park. David Daniel has all the details in today's Hollywood Minute.
These wings will give you a dragon's-eye view of Earth. No dragons required. Oh my God!
How to Train Your Dragon stars Nico Parker, Mason Thames, and Gerard Butler got a preview of the Isle of Berk at Epic Universe. The new Universal Orlando Resort Park features more than 50 experiences across 5 themed worlds, including the one tied to How to Train Your Dragon, which opens in theaters June 13th. Kieran Culkin has joined the cast of Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. The Oscar winner will appear as Caesar Flickerman, played in the original 4 films by Stanley Tucci. The prequel is due in theaters November 20th, 2026. The latest prop store auction features collectibles from Planet Hollywood restaurants around the world, including an alien mask from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, a Gremlins puppet replica made from the original molds, a 12-foot filming model from Lost in Space, and Morgan Freeman's prison shirt from The Shawshank Redemption. The bidding runs through June 11th at PropStoreAuction.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at CoastTV.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
I think we're feeling pretty joyful about this weather. Increasing blue skies in Lewis on the Tunnel and Razor Cam. It's a chilly start, and we are finally drying things out heading into the holiday weekend. A few showers still possible today, then drier, a little warmer for the holiday weekend ahead. I'll have your full forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:45, and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning. And Bob, it's cooler outside, but we are joined by some blue skies and sunshine, which is just such a great sight. I almost forgot what that looked like on our cameras. These past couple of days have been gloomy, so this is a good change for a holiday weekend.
Might have to blow the dust off the sunglasses for sure, because they've been on the shelf the last few days, Elisa, and we'll need the sunglasses today. Travel weather improving too. Now in Baltimore, I think you're mainly dry, around 70 degrees today, but New York and Philly, I think you still could see some showers there. DC is drying out, and Atlanta's warm, 83, 92 in Dallas today, and dry, but maybe some thunderstorms if you're flying into Miami, and 90 degrees. We're seeing green planes indicating no travel disruptions, but as you know, you get to the airport sometimes and things change. But we could see some minor delays maybe around New York up into Maine and New England, and maybe a few also across plains with some thunderstorms possible there. Otherwise, looking pretty good. And rain chances the next several days, we'll just isolate it today, and now I think we're dry Saturday through Monday, Memorial Day, but then an uptick in rain chances by Tuesday into Wednesday and even Thursday as well. It's chilly out the door, 49 in Willards, 54 Seaford and Millsboro, 56 in Lewis, and 54 in Ocean City. So make sure you have that heavier sweatshirt as the winds are starting to pick up out of the west now, and they'll continue to pick up today and dry us out as we go through time, as we're seeing some clouds, but also some breaks of blue. Nothing in the way of rain, as the steadier rain has moved off to the northeast with the coastal low in New England. So that's where the travel trouble spot is. Also seeing a few showers across western PA with an upper level low. If you're flying into Buffalo, some showers showers there, but dry across much of the Midwest. Maybe some showers across northern plains, southern Texas, but out to the west coast looking pretty dry. So overall, a pretty good looking travel day. Here is the futurecast this morning at 7:30 a.m. 50s and 60s. The breezes pick up, and we're looking at temperatures still below average today. By this afternoon, lower 70s. Can't rule out a stray shower late afternoon into this evening, and then clearing skies overnight. And by Saturday morning, another chilly start with 40s and 50s. And with a northwest wind tomorrow, sun and clouds, I think we're looking at 60s and 70s for highs. And then Sunday, we could be dipping into the 40s again and some 50s for lows, and then 70s into the afternoon. I think maybe mid-70s as we go into the inland spots on your Sunday. And those gusty westerly winds today, maybe up to about 25 miles per hour. That will lower the humidity, and still pretty breezy as we're going into your Saturday with gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. Now, things are looking better for Memorial Day with the system to our south with clouds and showers on Monday. Now it looks like a northerly flow, and we're starting to dry it out and see sunshine. So looking good for any kind of Memorial Day ceremonies or your cookouts, but not feeling warm. That's definitely the case as we're in fact cool. We're looking at below normal temperatures, I think, through the end of May into the early part of June. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 69 today, down to 50 tonight. So we're still on the cool side. I know we wanted to feel like summer heading into the holiday weekend, but really not the case. 70 Saturday, partly cloudy, 49 Sunday morning, lower 70 Sunday, 74 Memorial Day, partly cloudy, then clouding up Tuesday. Looks like the rain returns Wednesday and Thursday, with temperatures still running a little bit below average.
Thank you, Bob. Many communities are preparing to honor servicemen and women this Memorial Day weekend. In Ocean City, the mayor and local officials will gather on Sunday at the boardwalk for a flyover from the Maryland National Guard and a wreath-laying ceremony and more. People in Georgetown can head to the Circle for a ceremony set to take place Sunday at 1:30. And in Milford, a ceremony will take place at Milford High School on Monday at 10:30 a.m. And the 10th annual Poseidon Festival is back this Memorial Day weekend in Bethany Beach. The event takes place today through Sunday. Officials say locals can enjoy pirates, mermaids, marine science fun, emergency service displays, and more, plus some surprise extras to celebrate the Big Ten. It all kicks off tonight with the first ever community kite fly set on the beach, set to the sounds of the Queso Steel Band. And another group of seagulls has left the nest at Salisbury University. Thursday marked the 100th spring commencement at the university. It was the first on-campus spring commencement since the 1970s. Washington Commanders head coach Dan Quinn delivered the commencement address. Quinn and his wife Stacy are SU alumni and were awarded honorary doctorates. And Quinn did something he's grown accustomed to, deliver a passionate pep talk on the field.
The magic is in these moments, in the unknown. Whether you're nervous about the path you're about to take, a job that may be waiting for you, or you have no idea what direction you're going in, I know there can be so much uncertainty swirling around you. I get it. But what I would tell you, man, embrace all of it.
More than 1,000 graduates walked the stage on Thursday. It's one of several events honoring Salisbury University's centennial year. And the time is now 6:51, so we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today's coastal pet of the day is coming to us from the Brandywine Valley SPCA, as it always does on Friday. On your screen right now is Vinny. Vinny is a cool cat who loves to perch high and to lay on and take naps. He loves to dream of his forever home. He's very sociable and a loving cat, and he can bring a smile to anyone's face. And of course, we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen, scan that QR code at the top of your screen, and submit your furry friend to CoastTV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature. It is 6:54, and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. Rehoboth is a popular vacation spot all summer long, and now there's a new addition to the nation's summer capital that aims to increase safety. The newly completed Rehoboth Beach Lifeguard Station is a project that has been in the works since December 2023, and those ribbons were officially cut on Thursday. The building is fully ADA accessible and has 96 lockers for staff. The project's final cost rang in at about $5.7 million, about $750,000 over budget. And prepare for DART service changes on Memorial Day. The agency says in Sussex County, beach bus services and Route 305 will be running. Paratransit will also provide ADA-only service. All other DART services will not be operating. Fenwick Island is working with DelDOT on a new sidewalk project. The goal of this project is to add sidewalks that would stretch from James Street all the way to Lighthouse Road. Updates on this project are set to be discussed at today's Town Council meeting. DelDOT says it plans to use around $3 million to finish what the town has already started. The Atlantic hurricane season starts on June 1st, and experts think it will be busy. NOAA says there will be about 13 to 19 named storms, with about 10 becoming hurricanes. The expectation of an above-average season comes as the federal agencies tasked with helping the communities deal with these emergencies struggle with preparedness. NOAA and FEMA have both experienced cuts in staffing. And how about a penny for your thoughts? Because today is National Lucky Penny Day. According to superstition, finding a penny heads up is lucky. On Thursday, the U.S. Treasury announced it will phase out production of the penny. A final order for penny blanks, a coin foundation, before it is struck and finished, was accepted this month. And Bob, I always live by that, picking up a penny that's only face up. So I'm a little superstitious with that stuff. What about you, Bob?
I think so too. If you see Lincoln's head, right, and you pick up the penny. But I'm wondering about germs. Do you think there's germs on there? I don't know. But if you're supposed to pick it up. But anyway, yeah, we are looking at better looking weather as we go through time. We're looking at some clouds this morning and then some breaks in the clouds. And we're already seeing that today with temperatures into the 60s. I'm thinking upper 60s and a westerly wind, which is going to make it feel cooler. I think some in the inland areas get into the lower 70s, but I'm going 69 today. Some cool overnight lows. Paul Davis 10-day forecast looking good heading into the holiday weekend. 50 tonight, only 70 on Saturday. If you're looking for summer-like warmth, it's really not going to happen this weekend as we're looking at temperatures dipping into the upper 40s Sunday morning. 72 on Sunday. Then Memorial Day. Had rain chances yesterday. I'm taking them out now. So they'll probably come back again since I took them out. 74 and then cloudy Tuesday. It looks like rain chances increase middle part of next week into the end of the week. Temperatures still running a little bit below average and then hopefully a little warmer by next week and maybe some rain Saturday, 78, drier and warmer on Sunday.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today. The Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m. Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11. And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great morning and Memorial Day weekend.